Well, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Rashford is now confirmed to be an FC Barcelona player going into the 25-26 season after Manchester United and Barcelona got to an agreement to sign the player on loan with the potential to buy. So next season, we will be seeing Rashford play on their Hansi Flick with some of the best players in the world, with the best team in the world, and we'll see if this new environment going from Man U to Barcelona will get the best out of him, or will he continue to be inconsistent and we won't see that player that he once was? Well, this was kind of expected, right? This was literally the last option Barcelona had to get a left winger in this transfer window, considering the other operations completely failed with Nico Williams. We already know how the situation went, and Luis Diaz being an impossibility considering the amount of money that Liverpool are asking for. So Rashford was the last option, and at this point is the best option for all parties. Man U wanted him out, Rashford wants to leave, and Barcelona leading a left winger, so he was the best option considering we're getting him on a loan with maybe a potential to buy, which I'm seeing that there may be a penalty, a small fee if we end up not, triggering that buy option. We'll see how it goes going into after next season, but yeah, this is the best option to get a, left winger that we won't be spending a lot of money on. We'll see maybe in the future we end up triggering or not. But apparently Hansi Flick also wanted Marcus Rashford. He also pushed for him. Apparently they had a conversation, and that also made it even further now for him to come to Barcelona, and Deco got it done. So yeah, a lot of things to be said about Marcus Rashford coming to Barcelona. A lot of, question marks as well, because Marcus Rashford, as much as a great player he was showing at some points in his career, early on in his career at Manchester United, coming from the academy, showing that he has a lot of potential. A lot of Manchester United fans considering him a great talent that's going to carry them, that's going to be a star for them. And at some moments he would show that level, and then at a lot of moments he would show rock bottom, where he wasn't showing that level at all. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of Manchester United fans themselves have turned on Marcus Rashford. So he needed to leave that club as much as they wanted him out. So Barcelona now, we'll see if this new environment surrounded with a lot of great players, with a lot of mature players as well, will get the best out of him or not, or this could be a failure as well. Let's not get it twisted. There's no guarantees where Marcus Rashford coming to Barcelona, because again, he has the potential in him, but being a 27-year-old and still not showing that at a consistent level is concerning. It's concerning for sure. Of course, being in the wrong environment that Manchester United currently are can definitely affect your game. But if you're such a great player, you can still play at your best. You still work your magic, still do great things. Like, for example, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is a player that a lot of fans considering him a top player, a top midfielder, and he's playing for Manchester United. Look how they ended last season. They were the worst position they were ever in their history in the Premier League, and he was still a top player for them. He was still considered one of the best players in the Premier League because he was playing at such a high level, getting the best, trying to get the best out of this Manchester United squad, but just the team around them wasn't good enough, right? So if Bruno Fernandes can do it, Marcus Rashford could have done it as well, but he just hasn't been doing it. So maybe this new environment will get the best out of him. We'll see. If there's one manager that could definitely do it, it is Hansi Flick, but yeah, definitely question marks. This news for Marcus Rashford coming to Barcelona hasn't been anything new. It's been going on for a while now, even throughout last season, where I remember there were question marks if Aston Villa were going to trigger the buy option for Marcus Rashford, and that's when the links to Barcelona started coming up, since Barcelona needed a left winger. So this has been going on for a while now, and I remember giving my opinion on this, and I said that I didn't want Marcus Rashford at Barcelona for two main reasons: how inconsistent his performances were and his attitude on and off the pitch. I haven't seen it a lot lately, but I remember a time where Marcus Rashford would get killed online because he was someone that was prone to respond to fans whenever they would talk shit about him or whenever they would criticize him, right? It's understandable that he would want to respond because you want to talk back to these nobodies that talking shit about you, which is practically an unwritten contract that a lot of these players sign whenever they play for a big team, or when they're playing at a high level, or when they're considering one of the best talents or one of the best players, that you're going to get criticized. You're going to get criticized, but of course there's also these fans that take it to another level and just want to talk shit, just want to talk bad about you, not even criticizing your football, just want to talk bad about you, right? So it's understandable that these players don't accept it, and these players, it affects them, right? A life of a footballer, as much as they're making money, it's not easy because you're getting a lot of people criticizing you. So that's understandable that he would respond, but I remember he would do it a lot, and he obviously get killed for it. Now, when it comes to his attitude on the pitch, I would see at times where he's very uninterested, like he would impress. He looked like he didn't care, like he didn't want to be on the pitch. Maybe it's because he was playing at Manchester United, who were very down bad, and they were playing bad football. Definitely that can affect your mentality, that can affect your game, but if you're really playing at a high level, if you're really showing that you would at least care, you would still press, you would still, show the right attitude on the pitch. That's just how it is. If you want to be the best, you have to show it consistently that you're interested in the game, that you're interested to perform and show a level, because at the same time, as much as you're going through a difficult time with your team, playing at your best, getting, doing something to impress can get you moved to somewhere else. But I remember he just wouldn't do it. He would just walk around. Manchester United fans would turn on him because they just didn't see him, giving an F about what was happening with the team, what was happening with what was happening on the pitch. So that's what was concerning with me, bringing that kind of attitude to Barcelona with the young players that we have. I didn't want him to bring a bad influence to Barcelona. Now, I know a lot of people would say, hey, but Lamine Yamal is 18, throwing these kind of parties, blah, blah, blah. He's going to have a bad career because his attitude is not the best either. But let's get something straight. Marcus Rashford is 28, 27. He's mature. He's in his prime years, basically. He's already playing for a long time. Lamine Yamal is still a kid. He's still a kid, so he's enjoying life right now. If Lamine Yamal continues to do it for the next, decade or so, where he's doing it on a consistent basis, where we see that it affects his game, that's a different story. But he's still a young kid compared to someone that's very mature. So as a mature player, you should change these habits. You should change these things if you really care about your career and care about the team that you're playing for, right? So at one point, I didn't want him to bring the kind of attitude to Barcelona, but now that he's here, with the team that we have, again, we still have a lot of young players. He's a lot older than a lot of these players for sure. But I'm very confident with the players that we have, that they have the right attitude, that they care about the club of 100%, and that they care about performing at a high level. A lot of professionals for sure. As much as they're still young and want to party and do all these things, they're still professionals on the pitch. And Hansi Flick is a manager that gets the best out of them. Like, he gets them straight. Like, we saw the mentality change from years prior to what we seen last season. The mentality change is there. It is very evident. So hopefully this mentality change can change Marcus Rashford and get the best out of him, because there's no denying that the best Marcus Rashford is an incredible player. If Hansi Flick gets the best out of Rashford, we already know we're getting an amazing player here. At his best, we've seen him at his best. He's an incredible player. Under Erik ten Hag in his first season, which was I think like 3 seasons ago, I think he scored over 30 goals, something like that, where he was banging every shot that he took. He was taking on players easily, like playing with such confidence. That's the main thing that he needs, his confidence. If he just gets that confidence back, we're getting an amazing player here, where, again, he's in his prime years, so even better for us, right? But Marcus Rashford, he can play on the left, he can play as a striker, and he's probably going to play maybe that Rafinha role that Rafinha was playing last season, where he was starting on the left and invert. But the other thing is that if we need Marcus Rashford to play as a proper left winger, then he can play that position. We've seen him play at his best in that position, so that'd be great for us for sure, because we definitely need a left winger. Now maybe this would influence Rafinha's game and get other qualities out of him, great qualities out of him, maybe playing him as a 10, playing more centrally, where he can have more link-up play, maybe have more fab, have more shots. Who knows? We'll see what Hansi Flick cooks up. But again, the best Rashford is an incredible player, especially when he has that confidence. Like how easily he just gets away from players because he's quick as hell. Physicality wise, he's also great. He's he can jump high as well because he's a tall player, and he got that leap on him as well. So if Hansi Flick could get the best out of him, I'll be happy. We'll all be happy because he will do great things for us. We'll have another threat on the left-hand side as much as we have on the right-hand side with Lamine Yamal. Now, will he be able to do it? Would Hansi Flick be able to do it? I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'm not going to go into this season, just criticizing Marcus Rashford off the bat. I don't want to consider this a situation like João Felix when we signed them on loan, or maybe this could be like an Aubameyang situation where we signed them on loan as well when he turned out to be great for us as well. But João Felix was a situation where I said that I didn't want him either. I didn't want him at Barcelona, but when we got him, like, all right, we'll see what he does. Sometimes would appear, but not consistent enough, and then that's why we ended up not buying him, even though he also the price tag on him. Maybe this could turn out like an Aubameyang situation where he comes in and does great things for us, scores a lot of goals for us. But I just don't want it to be a one season thing, where he has a little purple patch, comes to Barcelona, has a purple patch, and then just we buy him for some reason. We just buy him, and then he turns out bad. He doesn't be consistent enough, and then he's like, all right, I'll just play out my contract right here and get my money here, because Obviously he's taking a major pay cut at Barcelona because I think he's only going to earn like $5 million a year, which is definitely a major pay cut from what he was earning at Manchester United. But I definitely hope that this doesn't turn out to be a purple patch where he just immediately just hits it off at Barcelona, and then the next couple of years he just turns out to be inconsistent like he's been in the last couple of years. Because one thing a lot of Manchester United fans have criticized this guy about is that season under Erik ten Hag in his first season where he played great, he only played great to get that contract renewal, which was a major contract renewal, and then the next couple years he didn't do much. He wasn't great at all. That level completely dropped. So hopefully that doesn't turn into a situation with Barcelona. Hopefully he's just not that kind of guy. Hopefully with a better environment, with better players around him, we can get the best out of Marcus Rashford. Again, I'm just gonna go optimistic going into this signing. I'm not gonna criticize him right away, but I don't know. I definitely have my question marks. I definitely have my question marks for Marcus Rashford, and we'll see. We'll see what Hansi Flick cooks up. We'll see if a lot of these players can get the best out of him too. He's going to be playing alongside Balde on the left hand side. We're going to see how Pedri feeds him as well, because Marcus Rashford is also an intelligent player. When you get the best out of him, he's a very intelligent player who can make runs. Gets in the right spaces at times. So maybe Pedri feeding him can get the best out of him. But definitely the mentality of the team. Just pushing him to get the best out of him, pushing him, and him seeing that he's playing for a champion team, a team that wants to be champions, that wants to play at the highest level, because Man U just haven't been that team in the last couple of years. So definitely that mentality change could definitely get the best out of him. But we'll see. We'll see what Hansi Flick cooks up. We'll see what Barcelona cook up next season with Marcus Rashford. But yeah, that was the video for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this loan move for Marcus Rashford. Are you happy about it? Are you optimistic? Or are you definitely concerned with this signing? You have your question marks about this signing. Let me know all those things down in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. Share to your friends that love football, and I'll see you guys in the next video whenever that is. Much love, take care, and peace.